This is Paul. Yeah. I was just sitting here and I was reading You and the Law. Yeah. They have what's called the Universal Copyright Convention. You see this C with a circle around it? Yes, yes, yes. The copyright notice essential for obtaining copyright consists of a three-part or two-part notice, three-part notice, which must be used on works in copyright classes. A to E, L, and M consists of the word copyright. Copyright. I've sent a lot of emails, and oftentimes I've included laws in those emails, and any sort of literary work is actually copyrightable. Now, I know I've included them in OneDrives, and in fact, I thought, well, maybe John Grisham would write a book about different types of topics that I've written my emails about, or maybe what's his name there? There's a actor, Jack Nicholson. Maybe there's a movie in this someplace and violating the constitutional rights of Americans and holding an American son's hostage and refusing to enforce the laws of the United States. And there could be all kinds of copyrightable material in all those OneDrives and all those emails and the videos that I make. A lot of this could be copyrighted. Yes. And I thought, I don't have time to write a book, but if I was to take every email and print them up and put them in book form and then sold them, there might be an actual market for all the material that I've put in every email. Now, I don't know that there's ever been a book of just printed emails, but when you've sent hundreds of thousands of emails and thousands of different topics, from conference center meetings to different types of employees that I need or volunteers. In fact, last night I sent an email about wanting to buy some Cadillacs. Some convertible 1970s Cadillacs for some cowboy volunteers that want to help women understand. Now, I know most men think, well, women know everything about their female parts. They know how all this works. But without a doubt, when your period is being controlled by a lizard system, and you always got to have a pad in the panty, it could be that some women have some difficulty in experiencing sexual gratification. Now, I plan on employing attorneys that are women in all actuality to manage these lawsuits that I'm going to sue every federal employee. And it could be that some of them have been frustrated in their own sex lives because they just didn't realize, well, maybe I have a weak vaginal muscle. That could be my problem. Now, when you think about what is copyrightable in every email that I've sent in every video, there might be quite a bit of material for different types of movies and TV shows and books, tapes. Motivational speaker, I could be making some money talking to an audience that would want to listen to me. Now, I'm going to need to know every copyrighted material everywhere in the world for the last, 25 years. Then I'm going to need to know about that convention, that copyright convention of the International Copyright. And there are those that say, well, no views. Nobody's watching those YouTube videos. There's nowhere in the world that anybody has any idea what he's talking about. Now, when you think about the total value of all the emails, all the videos, all the recorded calls when I was in jail, and the whole thought of the state of Washington deciding to be the plaintiff instead of the city of Swim, I somehow think that there could be billions upon billions of dollars of copyrightable material that I could be selling today. Now, I got to thinking about these cowboy volunteers that drive very large convertible Cadillacs from the 1970s, and they're like, well, it's a gas guzzler. How am I going to pay for the fuel of this thing? I mean, I know they're five-star. They're five-star volunteers. For a lot of softball players, it's just maybe a 3 or 6 month commitment. They learn themselves about their own bodies, and then they help coach other women to understand their bodies. Yes. But how do you provide for the fuel necessary to drive a Cadillac that size? Now, let's say I was to buy some annuities. You're 20 years old. I might put a couple $100,000 in an annuity, annuitize it for the rest of your life, and the actuarial tables would say you're going to live to about the age of 87, 88 years old. Now that might give you an extra $300 or $400 a month in income. Poo-poo, poo-poo. But in the event of your death, I get whatever's left over from the annuity contract. Yes. I become the beneficiary of the annuities of those that volunteer. Now, for a lot of women, they want to volunteer, but they can't afford the fuel necessary to run a Cadillac that size. So I decide, well, I'm going to buy you all nice annuities, and when you get done coaching those women that are attorneys and have been frustrated in their own sexuality, you're going to get an annuity payment each month equal to about $300 to $400 just to cover the expenses of having an automobile that size. Now, I know seems mean that I would want whatever's left over from the annuity payments, a lifetime annuity, yes. But when you put that amount of money into an annuity and you annuitize it, I could be the beneficiary of every annuity that I pay for. Now, I just want to know all the annuity contracts everywhere in the world. I want to know the best interest rates of all those annuities, and I want to make sure that all the softball cowboy volunteers that want to have a nice big Cadillac get a payment after they get done volunteering equal to about $300 to $400 a month just to pay the fuel expenses of having a Cadillac that size.